Welcome back to Your Real Estate Voice with Barb Schlinker. She's the host of the program, and this is the weekly radio show that informs and educates you on how to buy or sell real estate, and it does it with Barb Schlinker, the owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Now, Barb, I know many people ask you questions when they're getting ready to sell their homes. What are the top questions that home sellers should be asking real estate agents before signing an agreement to sell their homes? How do they make sure they don't get into something that's a lot of trouble?
Well, like I mentioned earlier in the show, I'd say a majority of the agents in today's market have never seen a market where the prices are correcting, and they absolutely are correcting on average about 5,000 a month lower. So how do you get ahead of that as a home seller? I know every seller wants the most money, but unless the home is underpriced by at least 5, maybe 10%, it's going to take a lot longer to sell. The average days on market is like 86 days right now, and that's up from the previous month. Um, there's 30% fewer buyers in the market right now that can afford these payments because of high interest rates. So they're being extremely picky, and they absolutely are looking for the best deals that they can get in their price range. So it's really almost not quite a buyer's market, but it's becoming a very, very balanced market. So in order to be successful selling in a market like this, you have to be priced appropriately. You have to be prepared to attract the buyer. You have to make sure it's promoted properly in order to get the most money and have it sell quickly. So let's talk about first the questions that you should ask an agent without regard to agent performance that are very important questions. One is, what do I need to do to prepare my home for sale? Now, we help people do this multiple times every week. We come out, we get the grand tour, we give you tips on what to do, what not to do to get it ready for sale, give you a really good idea what it will sell for, and show you how much you'll put in your pocket when it sells. So that's a good question, and you should always ask that. The next question, which we get an awful lot, is what's my home worth? And unlike the boom, not every home is selling right now. So pricing a home right is absolutely critical. And it's the market that decides what it's going to sell for. It's not the seller, it's not the real estate agent. It's what the market, the buyers, what I mean by the market is what the buyers are willing to pay. And we'll sit down with home sellers and give them very specific, excellent empirical data so they can make the best decision. Now, does every seller make the best decision about pricing? No. Some people push the envelope, and we're okay to go alongside with them as long as they understand that, over time, we're going to have to make some adjustments if it doesn't work. And there are some home sellers that really want to sell right now. They don't want to wait around. Actually, the national statistics are there's a growing number of home sellers that are willing to sell their home for cash, even to an investor, and even willing to give up more than $45,000 in their equity just to avoid the traditional sales process of getting your home ready for sale, having to deal with agents coming through the house, leaving lights on, doors unlocked, all that kind of stuff, and criticizing the home until you finally get a buyer. So that part is not fun if you're a home seller. But we're able to do this all the time. Just last weekend, I had 40 people at an open house and we got 2 offers. So it requires the perfect setup of preparation, getting the house ready to show, pricing it very realistically versus optimistically, and make sure you hire an agent that knows how to promote. So we were on the break, we were just talking about not every home is going to get a picture of every room or even the inside if it doesn't make the home look more valuable. Our goal is to get as many buyers to come out and see the home and go for them. And I'm sorry, our goal is to get as many buyers to come out and take a look at the home, and that way the home will sell itself, and you're more likely to get an offer in that situation. That's why picking the right agent absolutely is critical. There are over 180 different tasks that a great agent will do involved with handling the sale. Another really good question that a home seller should be asking is, how long will it take to sell my home? Now, that depends. We know what the averages are, 89 days or 86 days right now, and it really depends on preparation, pricing, and whether or not it's promoted properly. If they get all of the 4 Ps right, it can sell in as little as 2 weeks. But if they don't price it right, if it's not marketed right, if you don't pick the right agents, chances are your home will sit on the market, the price will slowly walk down, and at the end of the day, you're going to either reduce your price to get the price down, or what we're seeing more and more sellers these days do is they just sit out the market. They take their house off the market and they wait. And they wait until the market gets a little bit better. The problem is that the market's not getting better, it's getting worse. So if you are thinking of selling, I definitely would not wait. And a general rule of thumb is, if you have 10 showings and no offers, your price is too high. If you go 10 days without a showing, your price is too high. And if you're getting low offers, your price is closer, but probably a little bit high. So that kind of gives you the rule of thumbs that I go by to help my home sellers decide where to position their home price right. And then what if you're getting offers with strings attached? What do I mean by that? Things like, hey, I'd love to buy your home, but it's contingent on my home selling, and my home isn't on the market yet. In fact, I had one agent do that and tell me that not only is the home not on the market, but she had no idea where she was going to price that home. And then the seller went ahead and took her offer, took their house off the market. That home goes on the market, and lo and behold, that home was priced, no kidding, Richard, at least 150,000 over current market value.
Oh my gosh.
So there was no way that it was going to happen while we're still young. So fortunately, the sellers got out of the contract because they asked for too much junk on the inspection. They were also making demands. Well, we're going to terminate if we don't get everything we asked for. And we're like, okay, bye-bye. So we were kind of happy to get rid of them, made room for another buyer, and that one is now closing. Okay, another question. How important is staging? So there's different kinds of staging. One kind would be basically working with your stuff to make the home look more attractive. There's also bringing in furniture, which is a big effort. It's a little bit more expensive. Or we also have virtual staging. We do a little bit all of it, whatever it takes to get the home sold, because we know the very first showing is done online. You don't want your house to be eliminated based on the online presentation. The buyer needs to visualize themselves in the home, and that's enough to get them to motivate to come out and take a look at it. And here's a question we get all the time. When's the best time to sell? And actually, if you look at stats, so this is a little bit older data, but it's pretty consistent year round. It doesn't matter. It seems to me the only months that were really, really slow for selling were January and February, and the rest of the months is pretty consistent. So I wouldn't worry about that. Make it work for you, especially with the prices correcting. I wouldn't hesitate to go on the market right now. Homes actually look very pretty, decorated for Christmas and stuff, so don't worry about that. Another good question is, do I have to leave for all the showings? That is not always practical for everybody. Sometimes they've got kids, they've got dogs, they've got cats that don't like being in the cars, or physically they just can't do it. You control that, you set the rules. So don't let anybody tell you you must leave and be at the beck and call anytime one of the random 5,600 agents decides they want to come see your home. No, no, no. You need to bring it down to a much narrower gap, and actually that creates more demand for the home. And that's what we do for our home sellers. My name is Barb Schlinker. I'm the broker owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Barb has the buyer's team and the host of this show, Your Real Estate Voice. And we're talking about the top questions sellers should be asking when they're getting their house ready for sale. And next up, we're going to cover some other top questions that real estate agents really wish you did not ask them when they're discussing the sale with you. If you are thinking of making a move, give us a call, 719-301-3900. We're in a different market with less demand, higher rates, fewer buyers, lots of competition. You need the pros to help you here. Call us at 719-301-3900 or go to barbhasthebuyers.com. Richard?
Barb, we're discussing the top questions that a home seller should ask when getting ready to sell their home. Now, everyone knows that I've been recommending you for years, the only person I would trust or recommend. Tell us what are some of the key questions that a home seller should ask a real estate agent that agents really wish they didn't have to answer.
Well, let's go over the facts. Okay. It's a hard business to be in. 87% of real estate agents get out of the business every 5 years. 81% of real estate agents sell three or less homes a year, and half of those agents aren't selling any homes at all. I was looking at the statistics this morning, and it was really sad for me to see that at any given month we have anywhere from 900 to 1,400 sales that take place. But there are 5,600 agents. So that means that most agents are not even having one sale every month. So they do it every third month or every other month if they're selling at all. And the reason why people get frustrated with the whole process is that their experience is many times these agents are not full time. They have communication issues, they have disclosure issues, they have marketing issues, and closing issues. So here's a question that an agent would really not like you to ask them, most of them, which is how many homes have you sold in the last year? That's a very good question. Another question is, how long of an agreement should I sign with a real estate agent? Some agents don't really give you a choice, and you want to know as a home seller, a follow-on question to that is, what if I'm not satisfied with what's going on? Can I cancel my agreement? And can I cancel it without any expenses? I helped a family sell their home a year ago in the winter, and they had broken up from that agent that had it on the market for a number of months. It didn't sell. So it wasn't expired, but it was soon to be expired. And those agents made that seller pay them $3,000 to break their contract. So you got to really look at the fine line. That was extraordinary. And then when they did that, they had good summer pictures. They wouldn't share it with me. Oh, no, that's just our marketing expense. So I thought that was pretty rude and probably not something that will bode them well for future business with that agent. So my recommendation is absolutely get a cancellation clause, get it in writing, and make sure there's no mystery about what happens if you're not satisfied. The state forms don't say anything about the quality of work. Okay. And another great question you can ask a real estate agent. So what if the ultimate buyer that wants to buy my house has a house to sell? Do you, Mr. or Mrs. Agent, have any solutions for that buyer? Well, I want to tell you that we do. We have multiple solutions, not just cash buyers, but we have other solutions to help that buyer and their agent get it to the finish line. And we also make sure that they are satisfied. So another good question would be, so why should I choose you over any of the other choices out there of the 5,600 agents? And you want from that to know that they're giving you some kind of cancellation or satisfaction guarantees to make sure that you're satisfied through the entire process. We provide those. So if you want to find out about those, give us a call at 719-301-3900, and you can find out about all the questions you should ask a real estate agent before you sell at barbhasthebuyers.com. Click on free reports. Richard?
You're listening to Your Real Estate Voice. That's Barb Schlinker, host of the program, and with Your Home Sold, Guaranteed Realty. And if you are thinking of making a move, call Barb at 719-301-3900 or visit barbhasthebuyers.com. Or if you want a free report, the top 10 questions to ask before you hire a real estate agent, visit barbhasthebuyers.com. Go to the green button that says free reports. Click there. Short break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about how much should you have in savings before buying a home, plus Barb's hot new listing. Stay tuned for that.